Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 21, The Return. This was an amazing episode leading up to the season finale. I didn't realize it was leading up to the season finale until it got to the end. I always forget when we're like 2 or 3 episodes and I'm like, it's like 2 or 3 more. It was like, nope, season finale next week. Amazing ending, of course, with Ghost Rider coming back into the fold. That was a great way to officially combine, I guess, both sides of the stories by bringing Ghost Rider back to help officially kill Ophelia now, with her like billions of inhuman powers. Who knows how many she actually has. They can pull out any character powers that they want to, or just make up some more, because they showed off Lincoln's abilities, because of course he had the lightning. They showed off Gordon's because she's, teleporting. I don't know whose ability it was when she was getting like hit, and it seemed like she was healing. It almost was like red. It was almost like she had like lava or something like that. So I don't know whose abilities those are supposed to be, but she's got a bunch of powers, and that makes her even more dangerous. But I'm assuming she'll die, just because it's the season finale. Who knows? It could be wrong. But very interesting way to end the episode. In general, it was a great episode. Of course, the characters are all officially outside of the framework, outside of Mac, and that leads to some very interesting stuff towards the end as well. But really, really fun going through the kind of 2 separate storylines until everything officially starts to come together when all the characters join up again. But we have Coulson, locked up Mac, and then pseudo legless May, because her legs aren't working too well. So all 3 of them are kind of trapped inside of this oil rig. They find out that they're dealing with the Russian guy who has a bunch of different, little robots that he's controlling now. So they're dealing with that. They have to fight him in the beginning, which was a pretty good action scene. I love the ending. With Coulson using the shield on the face, and he just basically spawns it, and it just slices through everything, and it makes the face fall down. I was like, that was a really cool way to do that. May has the adrenaline, so she's going crazy. I think that was during the second fight where they were taking on other ones. So she was going crazy during the second fight and just beating this thing up. I think she just had like a hammer and she was destroying this thing. So it was really fun. They did some really great action there. So they're split up, and then the other side are the characters inside the Quinjet. We of course have Daisy waking up. We have Gemma waking up. So they're all freaking out. It's like, we don't have a ton of power. We have to figure out where we can land. We have, to figure out in general how to freaking survive. So fortunately, of course, they end up making it. They turn on the weapons at the last minute. Yo-Yo helps them out with that. Plug in whatever they were plugging in. They said a bunch of stuff I already forgot. But, they plugged everything in. Basically, the weapons came back on, blew up the ship as they flew right through it. Everybody survives. Everybody's good. Except for the fact that, of course, Mac is still inside of the base. And Yo-Yo, or he's still inside of the framework. And Yo-Yo's not too happy about that. So I think they did a great job there. With her ultimately deciding to jump back into the framework to save him at the end of this episode. Like, that was her whole thing, where, she's like, it doesn't matter what he wanted. You, break his legs, you knock him over the head, you throw him through that portal, and you bring him back to us. And then that's when she finds out that Hope was there. And it's like, well, Hope is gone. So, yeah, it was very interesting. And, of course, they did a phenomenal job in this episode. Just like they kind of teased it a little because it was towards the end of the last episode, but we got to see everyone dealing with the crazy double life thing. So we got Coulson, who knows a bunch of random stuff about the submarines because he was a teacher in the other life. They have, of course, May and Fitz were, working with Hydra. So when Fitz explained what was going on about Ophelia having superpowers, it was like, exactly how many Inhumans we tested on and stuff. And so that's when she kind of pauses, like, it's time for us to go, because I do remember that a million different powers in this one person. She's basically immortal at this point. She's, like I said, got the lightning, got the healing, whoever powers that's supposed to be, and she can teleport. And I'm pretty sure she has super strength as well, because she's snapping necks, and especially the part where she got mad at Fitz, she pushed him and he flew back kind of far. I was like, that's not just oh, he fell. I was like, I feel like that's a super strength thing, or at least enhanced strength, maybe super strength. But I was like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. But very interesting reveal that she has all those different abilities. They're, kind of killing off some of the lesser characters, like the people that were on the Quinjet. We have one person surviving. A lot of people want her to be a main cast member. I feel like she will be, just because this is the 4th or 5th episode that she's been in where she's had a focus, and I'm like, I feel like they're doing that on purpose. She might be, making her way up to being just a normal cast member, which would be cool because I do like her character, what little we have. And of course, I don't even remember her name, but I do like the character. So she ends up surviving. Of course, Fitz ends up surviving, and this is after they end up saving Mac, which was a great sequence. And we have this probably my favorite moment in the whole episode, which is Fitz, after he and Ophelia get knocked out when they save Mac, Gemma shoots them both and it's like, okay, obviously Ada or Ophelia, evil, villain, that's all there is to it. With Fitz, we don't really know which side he's choosing. Like, is he going to choose his actual life or his alternate life, which is still a full life where he, he's in love with Ada because, she kind of implanted herself into his life. And it was a very great scene with him freaking out like, first off, how could Gemma even, look at me the same way or look at me in general after I killed a woman? How could, I possibly still be with her even though I do still love her? And once he kind of reveals that to Ophelia, that's when things really shift because, he's like, there's only room in my heart for one woman. And she's like, cool, we can just hop on out of here. And it's like, it's just you and me. And then he's like, but I don't know if she'll accept me. And she's like, It's like, well, I still love her. And then once that happened, she flips out, and it was just, that's when it just got crazy because she was like, all these emotions all at once that she didn't understand, like her being scared to die in the beginning of the episode, which we find out wasn't really a thing. She probably didn't, it was just overwhelming for her, literally the first time she truly felt it, so she probably wasn't thinking too logically, like, oh yeah, if I die, I'll come back to life. Probably wasn't in her head. It was like, I could die, and then it's like, oh yeah, I got super healing or invulnerability, who knows. So it was just very interesting, and she just snaps and she's like, no, and he's like, and it was just a crazy sequence. And I love that he was like, as she's freaking out, he's like, hey, remember what it felt like to save Mac? Let's go back to that mood, huh? Because that was a good feeling. That was really funny to me, but it of course just all falls apart. And so she's losing it. He has to jump into the little container to save himself. And then, of course, that's when she's still able to break out of the room. We see she has the other abilities. So going into this final episode, I have to assume with Robbie Reyes coming back, which is, like I said, a super epic freaking ending, I'm guessing that he'll be able to take her on despite her inhuman abilities and him basically being like an agent of, the devil. So I'm very excited for where we're headed. Like, when he came back, I was so freaking excited. Like, I already loved this whole episode. I was like, man, she's got multiple powers. They're killing off people and stuff. Even the, lesser characters, they're still killing off people. Yo-Yo jumps back into the framework, so we don't know really what's going to happen with her. I assume that, of course, things are going to work out and she'll find him. Although she wakes up in the middle of some chaos and she's just strapped to a table. So she wasn't dead, but maybe she was. So she might actually have her inhuman abilities because just like with Gemma, she literally woke up where her dead body was, which was just like, buried in the ground. So Yo-Yo could have just been a dead body on a table. It's like, whatever. And then she wakes up and, of course, basically brings her body back to life. So she might actually have her inhuman abilities inside this other world. So I am curious what we are going to get from that. Where she is as well, because she was strapped down, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she was, of course, in Hydra or anything like that. So they could really do whatever they want, wherever it is. Once again, it's super chaotic. That's why I assume it's Hydra, just because it's like, oh crap, we lost, everybody. Like, Fitz is gone, so he was like the doctor. He was like number 2. Obviously Ophelia's gone, so it's like they lost the 2 top people and a bunch of other crazy things have happened. So I'm like, I'm assuming that she's strapped into like this bed inside of Hydra, but never really know. So I'm looking forward to how that's going to play out, us going back into the framework and how crazy things have been. We don't really know what the passage of time has been inside the framework as well, because I think that was something that they mentioned, because they'd spent days there inside the framework, but I'm pretty sure it was only like a few hours that it had actually taken place in the real world. So this crazy sort of thing. So we'll see what in the world ends up happening. So I'm very excited for things to play out in this season finale. Robbie Reyes coming back was just super awesome. Like, I was literally just laughing from happiness because I was like, that was just awesome. It was a great first half of the season. I love Ghost Rider. This version of Ghost Rider even looks super sweet. So he's got the cool car. Don't know if we'll see the car. I can't remember what happened to his car, but he's back. So we got him. He's got the chain and everything. And the effects just look so sweet every time he comes back. It just looks freaking cool. So very excited for the next season. Maybe, or for the season finale, maybe in the next season we'll get to see Robbie as a part of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I kind of doubt it just because it is Ghost Rider, so maybe we won't get to see that, but I don't know. They can do whatever they want. I would love to see Ghost Rider be like an official part of S.H.I.E.L.D. It would be kind of like the comics where, you have all these characters that do solo stuff, every once in a while, just the most random character is suddenly a S.H.I.E.L.D. member. So it'll be a great way to do it within the cinematic universe. Like, yeah, Ghost Rider, dude who went to hell, trapped in another dimension, potentially hell, came back, everything's good, and now he's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. They can make that work, and I would love it just to see him go on some missions. But either way, I'm excited for this season finale. Of course, we'd love to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, least favorite parts were. And of course, I just want to know what you guys want to see for this season finale, what your theories are for the finale. There's a lot to happen, and I think it should be good kind of all the way around. So I'm looking forward to it. We even have the hint at the end with Ophelia and the Russian dude, where it's like we could probably change the entire world and make it the Hydra world. So I don't know how they plan to really do that in like the span of one episode, but apparently that's what he's been working on, kind of his side little thing this entire time. So I'm curious what that's going to be. Would love to know your theories, and also just what you guys want to see in general for the season finale. And of course, like I said, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.